Sorry, microphone was up. Hi, um, this is video 724, and this is the first video I think I'm going to make that might be a little graphic. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it might be a little disturbing, might be a little bit upsetting. May not be a video to watch if you're young. Maybe not when you're old either. But today, I was at work and I went to the bathroom and I decided, I'd wipe, go pee pee wipe. Um, and when I did that, the toilet paper was full of blood. I was bleeding in my hoo hoo, and I wanted to address it because I think we tend to focus on oh, I'm going to have GCS, and this myth, and I'm going to be a woman finally, and definitively and correctly assumption. Uh, and I can wear a bathing suit and not feel, not out myself, blah, 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 blah. But I think there's some caveats to that, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. Obviously, I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's wrong with me? And, um, after doing a bunch of research through the day, I'm going to end up seeing a urologist next week. I'm lucky they got me in. And this urologist is in Louisville, and they also do some GCS type stuff. So, while they're in there, while they got the hood up, I want them to look around and, make sure that, number one, the surgery is done right. It's healed, it's been 2 or 3 years since I've had surgery. Okay. It's been 3 years, 3 years since I've had surgery. And I had corrective surgery one time about 8 weeks after the original surgery because my urethra was collapsing. Okay. Your urethra is the P tube. And, the P tube is different than the blood tube. If you look up some female anatomy, it's where babies and periods come out of. It's the vagina, and the urethra is up here. It's above. So they're kind of two different systems, but as part of GCS, you kind of mess with both of them to maneuver them in the right spot. And apparently, it's very common for them to mess with each other and compete with each other. I mean, as your bodies, you're tearing your body apart. Here's where it gets graphic. Okay. You're tearing your body apart, putting it back together again. And so as you heal, you could heal funky. I mean, there's a lot of complications that can come out of it. It's not a perfect process, let me put it to you that way. There's a risk in anything you do, obviously. But I want to know why I'm bleeding. I mean, I want to know. I want to know why am I bleeding. Do I have sores in there? Do I have lesions? Do I have little alien critters living up my hoochie? I don't know. I stopped dilating about a year ago. And when you say that, the first thing someone's going to say is, your hole is going to close up. It's going to heal over. And that's not how it works. Will it lose some elasticity? Yes. But it's like a balloon. Stretch it back out again. You'll get your elasticity back. And why did I stop? Number one, I got tired of shoving big chunks of plastic up my yin yang and just, going, oh, this is exciting. This is thrilling. I just get tired of it. I mean, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel, you're taking a cold chunk of plastic and ramming it up a hole and holding it there. And then you get and then when that's done, then you get a bigger rod. You ram that up the hole. It's not a very pleasurable experience in any way, shape, or form. And I got my morale was low. I read the article about how, um, 16, roughly 16 people out of 1,000 would even consider dating a trans woman. And I was like, you know what? What the hell am I doing this for? I'm not going to have sex. So, anyway, bow wow. So, my first thought today was, it's losing its elasticity, and then I thought maybe it is closing over. I don't know. And it's just not the way the surgery works. Um, they take your scrotum and your tissue, basically your scrotum, and they basically turn it, they turn it inside out, and so what was the outside is now on the inside. So this side is all bloody and messy and shit, and this is your skin. And then they put it in make a hole and put it in there. Okay, so nice and sew it up. And so this sac is not going to heal up. It's not going to close. It's not going to shut. It's always going to be this little sac. Now, yes, it may lose some of its elasticity, but you're going to have that hole in you. And so it's kind of a myth, I think, to say, oh, it's going to shut, it's going to close. No, you're going to have this hole. Okay. For the same reason your scrotum doesn't, shrivel up. It's just skin. But again, the elasticity of that, again, it's you maintain it by ramming shit in there. Okay. With the hopes, I think my dream, I don't know about yours, is that one day a gentleman will be kind enough to romance you a little bit, and maybe he might stick something of his own in that hole. I don't know. Your odds of doing it are like astronomical, but that doesn't mean it can't happen, right? So, again, why is this bleeding? There's nothing. I'm not sticking something in there. What could it be? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. The research that I had done for girls, cis women, in between their periods, obviously when you have your period, a cis girl, this thing's full of blood, right? Blood and shit. But between periods, it can also bleed naturally. If the, in addition to if it, if there's like, you don't, and we're going to get a little more graphic, you don't use enough lube or whatever and you're having sex, okay? Definitely if you're dilating and you don't use enough lube, like I said, you're shoving a cold piece of plastic up there. And you don't put enough lube on it, you're going to hurt yourself. But from what I read today, the content of the skin that has estrogen in it, if it's low on estrogen, it will actually harden up and not be as flexible. Okay, and so yeah, you can, it will bleed on its own if it's, kind of like chapped lips. And so again, that might be the kind of thing. Just we have to increase our estrogen. And as you know, I'm not on estrogen right now. I can't because of my blood clots, fear of me getting a blood clot, which I'm working on. But so that's a possibility. But I just kind of wanted to share, and I guess I wanted to ask, if you've had GCS, if you encountered that, do you bleed? It just doesn't make any sense. The research that I had done also, trying to process of elimination to make sure it's not my urethra. They suggested putting a tampon in, and for 3 years, I don't know why I never thought about it. You got the hole, why not put a tampon in it? I don't know. So today was a first for me. I talked with my daughter. I didn't talk to my dad. I just took one of my daughter's. I bought them. They're mine. I gave them to her. But no, they're her tampons. But she won't miss one. And um, I put a tampon in, which was kind of an interesting experience. Just shoving a piece of cotton up your yin yang, you know. But the idea is just to eliminate and make sure that it's, if the tampon comes out clean, then obviously it's not something to do here. It might be something to do with the urethra, which might be something totally different. It could be a kidney stone, it could be whatever else. But it is an extremely uncomfortable situation to have that tissue hurt and bleed. And, you go to the bathroom and urine gets in there and it stings because it's the, I guess I want to say, the ammonia in the urine. It's not a good thing to have against each other. And what I'm wondering is if maybe some of my feelings of not depression, but some of my feelings of pain or just not feeling right, that maybe that is some of the toxicity of having urine and stuff passing through that wall and getting into my bloodstream. I don't know. I'm just totally pulling it out of my ass or my coochie. Um, but I'm curious if maybe that's what's going on. So that said, if you do have GCS, your surgeon will tell you, to you're susceptible to yeast infections. You're susceptible, to keep your canal clean, to douche. And I did douche for a while, but then I felt really bad because here I was, to douche, you spray it, and then you got this bottle, and you're kind of contributing to waste. So what I did is I invested in a medicine bottle, okay, at Walgreens, and it has a little screw-on applicator. So in the shower, put a little bit of soap in there, hold it under the shower head or the bath head, the shower head, fill it up, screw it in. It's got a handy little hook. You put it on the shower rod, and gravity does its thing, and you clean the hedges, clean the bushes. And I did this today, and I for the first time in probably 6 months. So Lord knows what was growing up in there. And that was something that, as I'm making this video, I'm kind of wondering is if maybe I had some sort of yeast infection. I'm thinking now because I did notice some yeast infection in there, and that's the other thing you get quite frequently, and it hurts. It's like cottage cheese. Again, more graphic stuff. It's like cottage cheese coming out of your canal. And maybe what I'm wondering is if the fungus, as part of growing on the surface, maybe it agitated the skin, and then walking and whatever it rubs, and maybe that's the source. I don't know. It's my theory. It's my hypothesis. So anyway, so I guess I just wanted to share again a little bit of truth. Something maybe you don't think about, maybe you do. I don't know. But this is one trans at middle age. This is the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. And I did pass a kidney stone about a year ago, and that's what it reminded me of today when I saw all the blood. Um, and on the one hand, we're like, oh, I've always wanted to know what it's like to have a period, you know, and that's not. This isn't that. Yes, you're gonna bloody up. The other thing, you're gonna bloody up a pad, but it's not fun. It's not. It's not. I don't know. It's one of those things when you can't do it, and you think about it, you're like, oh, I want to try it. And then once you do it, you're like, okay, this is getting old. You know, I'm glad I tried it. Better to love and lost than never love at all. But um, just one of those things. So I just thought I'd share it with you. And again, if you have a similar experience, let me know. Post it in the comments because um, you know my first thought today was something mechanical was wrong. There was something with the urethra and the vagina canal. There was something mechanically wrong. And that's why I'm going to go see the surgeon who can look at it. And like I said, while the hood's up, go, yeah, we can fix this. And he also does um, the vaginoplasty, I believe. And I'm sorry if I slaughter these terms or I get them wrong, but basically cosmetic surgery to make it look more like, the Laboria, not Laboria. It sounds like a planet. On the planet Laboria, it rains, 70 days out of the year. No, your labia majora and minora. That to make it look more visually. Me, I just want it to work. I'm a used car as it is. I'm last year's model. We don't need. We're not a Corvette here. Little red Corvette. Um, I just want it to work. And then the other thing, while we're being a little more graphic, is, I'd like the stimulation to work. That's the thing. I'm so jealous. And, some trans women that I've met who've shared with me about the orgasms, the multiple orgasms that they've had. And I'm still like going, I haven't had one yet. I rub the bottle and the genie don't come out. You know, the genie's on vacation or somewhere else. Rub it, rub it, rub it, nothing happens. And so again, I'm kind of wondering if while the hood's up, if the surgeon can say, "Oh, your kafunky thinky here is a little off. We could operate, and I could move that in the right position." And you know, mm, but luckily that's not a big deal for me right now. But it would be nice. I mean, when you go through the process, it would, you pay for it. You might as well get some use out of it. So anyway, if I haven't discussed it you, I appreciate that. But I just want to share, and I'll once I know a little more on Tuesday, I probably will make a follow up. For all I know, he's going to look at it and say, "Mm, "There's nothing wrong," and I may have to end up at a gynecologist or something. And like I said, for all I know, it may just have been a really bad yeast infection that just did a lot of skin damage, and now my body's trying to heal. I don't know. I don't know. And the other thing that's kind of a drawback, especially when you're big like me, big around the belly, you can't friggin' see it. I mean, you think not seeing your feet are a problem. You can't see what's going on down there, and you lay in bed and you got your feet up like stirrups, and you got your mirror here, and you're trying to see what it is, and you can't see it. And that's why the gynecologist has got the stirrups and the lights and the mirrors and everything. Um, but anyway, so that's my story. I'm going to stick to it, but I do wish you the best of luck, and hopefully today is a little bit of not necessarily education, but again, the things they don't tell you, the things they don't tell you. And we shall see. All right, till next time, my friends. Good luck to you in your journey. Until next time, bye bye.